Welcome, everyone, to the Economy Ninja Podcast. This is your host, Colin Norman. I hope that you've been enjoying the content that we've been producing so far. And in this segment, Dan and I continue our conversation, and this time we discuss our own experiences in using blockchain technologies. Again, we are not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. But onto the content. I hope that you enjoy it.
I really got into it the last couple of weeks. I went from solely having a Coinbase account, right, which is, I'm learning about it. I'm putting my money in there, because I want to have that motivation to continue to really dig into it when I'm tired at the end of the day, right? Well, if I have value locked up in it, I'm going to be motivated to learn about it even when I'm completely wiped out, but like tired, like recently I really dove into it, and I finally got my own wallet, right? I have an actual wallet. They're my keys now. So, and then I got my wallet, I got my yield producing account with BlockFi, and then I went to Celsius and I got a yield producing account with that. And then, I got the wallet on my phone because I had to put Ether in it so I could contact or connect with Staker, through Connect Wallet Connect or whatever. And now I'm staking some Ether at this point, right? I got half an Ether staked, and it's like, just having it sit in Coinbase is, it looks like my stock account, right? Like I just see this line move around. Like, yeah, I got some, appreciation today. But, I took a picture of a barcode, right? A QR code, and I was able to send true value, from one piece of equipment to another instantly almost. And it, I knew, psychologically, I knew, like in my mind, like this is a good idea. But then I did it, and I was like, wow, that is really nice. It works really
your
well.
first transfer from one wallet to another.
And it wasn't hard. Like that's the thing. People are so afraid that what if I, put in the wrong number? You take a picture of QR code, you have all these tools now, this wallet connect that and there's a ton of them out there just like it, right? And these are open source things that anybody can really use and implement. Nobody really owns them. And, I was thinking last night about how the government made everybody turn in their gold or whatever. And I was thinking what if they just decided to take all my Bitcoin? Oh, I'd turn my phone off, right? Like they're not taking it if I turn my phone off, or, worst case scenario, I'll just memorize it and I'll just delete everything and burn the cold storage backup, right? Like it's really interesting to think that I can transfer 30 grand to the darkest corner of the continent or of the world, right? With any effort, no effort at all, instantly. Like if I was a business and I wanted to produce or transfer value to a place in the middle of Africa, like I could do that easily in under 10 minutes, right? Like there's no time or no other asset on the planet that can be transferred so easily, true value asset, right? And once you kind of really wrap your head around that, and you wrap your head around the fact that it is real time settled, it's not just some guy in the background saying, hey, I owe you for this and I owe you for this. You put them together, they cancel, the balance sheets work, right? Like that's a scary spot to be in for our system, because that's where we're at right now. You think about, the current financial system, it is a thing that's trying to accomplish 21st century finances on a skeleton produced 100 years ago, right? And it's the same system we've had for a long time, right? And what we've done, like you said earlier, paper over these cracks that don't really work, right? But the system is still built off something that relies around handing pieces of paper to each other, IOUs, and there's all these middlemen, which made a lot of sense a long time ago when the flow of money really wasn't that fast, right? But when I want to buy something for half a penny, I can't do that when it costs me 20 cents to run a credit card, right? Like how do you buy these microtransactions? How do you settle this stuff real time so there's no discrepancy in who owns, and this is where the real value of the crypto, market is at. So like just doing it myself, finally, even after studying this stuff for a year, it was still shocking on how good of an idea and how well it worked. It just further, it sucks you into the rabbit hole, man.
Yeah.
It
No,
feels
no.
like a new world. I can't come up with a good argument why it's not a good idea. It feels like tomorrow. That's what it feels like. It feels like tomorrow. It's like making an extremely inefficient system efficient, and that it feels good, right? It's deflationary pressure. We're not going to put all this effort into making our financial system work anymore, right? It's just going to work. And when you do that, you free up human effort to do something else, right? No more jamming all this brain power into pushing around pieces of paper. People can do something else, and that's awesome. So,
Yeah. We
yeah.
For all of we had spent years at least talking about Bitcoin as, like as something that was novel, an idea that was interesting. Neither of us really got into it until this year after March, when everybody was trying to figure out what the hell was the right decision to do with their capital.
And the low of the low in the Bitcoin, right? Like it hit like $5,000 or something. Bought my first Ethereum for $100, like $150, something like that.
Just a smashing success on that. It's
that was a good one. Yeah.
Insane. And like we continued to see this. So like when it's sitting in, when your Bitcoin's sitting in your Coinbase account, it really is taking on that narrative of, you're just sitting there with it, waiting for somebody else to offer you more money. And that's one of the biggest, negative narratives against Bitcoin, is that it is just a Beanie Baby tulip mania fad, right? That's conceptually you're playing the fool's game, waiting for the bigger fool. And when it's sitting in your Coinbase account, or you bought it and it's just sitting there, it is essentially playing that narrative out. But when you take it out and you start moving around, moving it between wallets, and you see its functionality, and you start using it for different things, you start putting it on these lending platforms and start accruing interest paid in it, you do get excited, like with all those things that you just said. You get excited about what it actually is, what you're actually using it to do, and thinking about all of those things of removing the middlemen of the world in the world of finance. And for some people, having their own wallet won't be the answer. Maybe that's why custodial, third-party owners of cryptocurrencies will always probably be around, because people don't want to have to deal with that. And there will be assurances and insurances of their crypto assets with that third party. But just having the ability to choose a third party or not choose a third party, like, it's great. Like, it creates added utility to the entire system when you have something that, like, it's like taking your money out of the bank because you don't trust the bank, but it doesn't really matter because the government's devaluing your money the entire time. Like, that's the thing about the monetary system that always sucks. You don't actually get any real independence with the money in the monetary system because it's imperfect. There's always somebody that can take advantage of your situation, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think about it like, there's all sorts of things out there with features that people don't use but like to know that exist, right? So like, I think about it like a truck. How many people own trucks? I know a lot of people with trucks. How many people own trucks and use them as they need to be used? Like, I can't tell you very many people that fully utilize their truck, right? They just like the option to have a truck bed. They just like the option to be able to tow their house down the street, right? But like, very few people actually need a truck. That's the way Bitcoin is, in my opinion, right? Like, I bet you 99.9% of people are never going to do their own key situation, right? But I think a lot of people will love the option or the ability to know if they had to drop everything and leave tomorrow, they could take their keys, delete all their accounts, throw their phone in a river, make sure they have their 12 words memorized or whatever. And as long as they don't sustain any, substantial brain injury, they're going to be able to get all their value out wherever they go, regardless of government, regardless of system, regardless of bank, right? And that's something that brings a lot of comfort, I think, to a huge portion of the population. After I realized how easy it was to use the wallet and how easy it is to memorize 12 words, and to know that, ultimately, if I had to drop everything and leave tomorrow, I would still have a substantial portion of my net worth intact. And that is, it's a powerful idea, and maybe that's why people are worried governments will, get rid of it, because it feels good. If I had a bunch of gold, yeah, I could take my gold with me, but everybody or anybody could steal, my bar of gold, and it's scary, and you have to deal with it, and it's heavy, and it's not a great idea. I can't just drop it in a river and come back for it, right? Like, I can literally get rid of any evidence that I have anything. I can pop up somewhere else, and I can be able to buy myself whatever I need to survive, right? So it's really in the world we live in today, I imagine it resonates well with a lot of people. So it's surprising, as much as people like the decentralized idea in politics and all this stuff, that it's not acquired further adoption from that sector of people. I imagine once people come to trust it, you'll get a huge adoption from people like me that, they love everything about society, but in the back of their mind, maybe like, oh, like a fallback plan. I like that fallback plan. I'm not a doom and gloomer, but I like insurance, and this is risk-free insurance for bad situations. So it's convenient, it's easy, it's low cost. Another thing was, the fees to transfer my Bitcoin around were low in comparison to the volume of Bitcoin that I was transferring, or Ethereum. Especially Ethereum is much cheaper, right? So like, it's the value.
When you can move your life savings for the anywhere in the world for the same costs as making a regular purchase with a credit card.
Yeah, and if I'm really concerned, right, just the ability to, like I said, delete all the accounts and have them memorize words and do whatever I want, that's pretty cool. So, and no one can take it from you. It's stuck. It's on the chain. It's not moving. So it's pretty empowering, I think. And I think that's why it's going to resonate with a lot of people in, countries that maybe not be so well off or have the best governments, right? We already talked about this, but it's to experience it firsthand. I think everybody should put $10 in a crypto asset, move it around, and really understand why it's a good idea. Because everybody I talk to, even financial investors, a good friend from high school that I've known for years now, I talked to him about it. He's like, it's a tulip thing. It's a disaster. Everybody's getting scammed. Like, where's the value, right? And like, I see the value. You should get $10 in it and move it.
Always coming back to that value, like
it does add value.
The systems that we're already part of can pretty much screw you if things go wrong. That's all for this segment. If you're enjoying the content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we hope to see you in the next segment. Have a good day.